Lisa. I'm back with a layout this week, and I have a 2-pager with a lot of photos. This was 4th of July photos. So we're going to do a collage on the right-hand page, and then the left-hand page is just going to have a single photo that I want to emphasize, and I kind of wish I had printed it larger than 4x6, but I want to go ahead and do this page, so I'm going to put some matting around there. I'm also going to do some stenciling, so we're going to go to the silhouette and do a little bit of cutting to create a special star stencil to go up here and to go with our star theme for this page. And I'll be using some white cardstock. This is Recollections 80-pound smooth cardstock, which I really love. It's from Michaels. And I got a lot of photos. I also would like to get back to using some of the things that were in my box and that from my video I had at the beginning of the summer of things that I really want to work through. I'm putting together a new class, and I have used a couple of things there, but for my other videos I haven't been using as many lately. So let's get back to that. These are Lawn Fawn stamps that make great borders because they connect, and you can do lots of different things with them. And I'm going to have some of that here along the bottom and on this edge. I could just do designer paper there, or I think I'll do some stamping because I don't have a lot of paper with the red, white, and blue theme, especially that blue is kind of hard to come by in my papers. So I think we're going to do more stamping and rather than using paper. And I did have one other thing in my box. These designs from Prima or from Pink Paisley. I think I've used some of these already this summer, but I just have a very few left. So we'll see if we can sneak those in. Maybe not for this page. So the next thing what I'm going to do is go over to the silhouette and just do a little bit of work there to get my stencils ready to cut. I'm going to be cutting them out of paper because it's more of a one-time use kind of thing. I'm in the Silhouette software to show you how you can sort of use this cutting mat to lay out your layout and figure out the sizes of the things that you want to cut. Now the grid is turned on like it normally is. I'm going to go over to the grid settings window and uncheck show grid because it's going to be kind of get in my way, I think, as I'm going along, but you could certainly leave the grid on if you wanted to. I want to draw a rectangle to represent my photo. I'm not going to actually cut this, but I need something to represent the photo. And when I select it and go to the scale window, I can change the size, uncheck lock aspect. That would keep everything in proportion. And I'm going to change this to 4x6 and apply that. And I think I want to fill this with a color so it's really obvious that this is my photo. Now, I'm going to put it out of the way for the moment and go to my library. And in my library, I have something called a star cluster. It's just a cut that I've got out of the Silhouette store. And the reason I'm doing all this is to see how large to cut this. I'm going to cut 2 versions of it. And I want it to be in the upper left-hand corner of my page when I use it as a stencil. So I want a small version and a large version. Control D will duplicate it, and then I can resize it. And they're overlapping right now, but that'll get taken care of when I start to do the stencil work. I'm just, again, trying to get an idea of the size. There's going to be sort of some paper down here and a title, and it's okay for me for the title to kind of go over part of that star. So I'm pretty happy with my sizes here that I'm going to have. And of course I could always tilt it, do some different things with it once I get it in there as a stencil, but I think I like those. But this helps me figure out how big they need to be by having this photo here and placing it on a 12x12 background. Now for the purposes of cutting, I don't want to cut that rectangle. I just want to cut these 2 star clusters, and then we'll use those for stencils. Inside my misting box, I have my 12x12 white cardstock, very smooth cardstock, and I'm placing the larger one of the designs down, and then I'm going to rip some paper here so that I can cover part of this because I want to spray my first color of mist on. I have some October Afternoon blue there and a red, I think it's the Rudolph color from Studio Calico. Just making sure I get enough covered up here. And I'm using all kinds of things, towels and stuff. And then we're going to go over it with this blue, I believe it's called Ocean Sail from October Afternoon. And you can see then the stars are showing through, and now we want to do the red. So I've got to cover all the blue area and still leave some that's going to come out white here. So you can see I'm getting a red, white, and blue kind of look. And I don't want any to drift there to the very edges of the paper either. Now, one thing I didn't like when I got this off is that I hadn't put the red quite in the whole area, and then I had that white that sort of, the dividing line was too distinct. So I threw a little bit of red ink and a little bit of blue ink there just at the top, and then just a little bit more over on the left side, and that helped to fill things in. So I got the red, white, and blue look, and still had the corners covered. Now I'm working on the photo collage. I could cut some of these photos apart since I have 3x4s there together, but I kind of like the arrangement of them. I do want to leave some space over on the right hand side, and I'm going to have to trim something or overlap something to get all that to fit. But it's fairly easy with the photo collage. There's usually something you can trim down. There's some extra space, like the photo of me, there's sort of a pole there on one side, the flagpole, that I could cut off if I needed to. In this case, I end up taking those flags on the far left and just wrapping them over the picture with the ice cream truck just a little bit, and because I have a star that I'm going to place right there, you don't see where they come together. So I could trim it down, but in my case I just ended up overlapping it, and that made it go even faster when I went to assemble the page. Now I do need something over on the far right and down at the bottom, and I thought that I would use some stamps that I have. These were in my Stuff to Use This Summer box. They are from Lawn Fawn. I love these stamps, and I have used these quite a bit. I just haven't used them in a long time. And they're designed for doing borders so that you can interlock the design. Working with black archival ink because I'm going to be doing some coloring. And I'm sorry I have to get my head in the way there, but that's necessary so I can see that I'm getting these lined up really well. And they line up just beautifully. I love these stamps. They're border stamps from Lawn Fawn. As far as I know, they only have 2 different sets, and I have both of them. And I think they're still available. I'm going to color in some of my dots now, or my hexagons here. Not a lot of them. I just want to do a few of these. And I'm going to kind of do them randomly going along with a couple of Stampin' Up! Markers. And that creates a border strip for me. I'm going to add a little bit of designer paper. This is also Stampin' Up! Paper. Any kind of scrap would have worked here. That's just what I happen to have in red that looked good. You see, I haven't glued my photos down because I wanted to see how much room I needed for my border here. And then I'll just glue all of these down and overlap that one with the flag a little bit, and you can see how the star is going to cover that up perfectly. Now on the other side, I want the border to go down towards the bottom. I'm doing a nice big mat for my photo to make it really stand out. And I'm doing it kind of like a picture, you know, where you have a narrow black frame and a wide white mat. I think that makes a really classy look to your photos. And we'll put a title in the area in between there. I want to do the fourth, and I had to go through quite a few thickers before I found one that had enough letters to make authentic, since that takes a lot of vowels. These are some red glittery ones. I think I bought these stickers on sale at Hobby Lobby or somewhere one time, and I tend to pull them out for the 4th of July or Christmas. That's when I get to use them. And I'll find a small TH to put in there for 4. I've added the journaling for the page. I didn't have quite enough room down here at the bottom to put all the journaling in, so I put some over here. We've got these border strips from the stamped images, and I just added a tiny bit of designer paper and then go ahead and glued my stars on in these 3 spots. I had 2 of them marked on the sketch, but I decided to go ahead and add a 3rd one here to balance that out. And then, of course, we have our title, our framed photo, and then the photo collage over here on the side, just sort of creating this corner here to balance the design in the stencil design over here in the left hand corner. So this page, this double page spread really came together quickly. It's very photo heavy. The embellishments are quite simple. I've got an O there I need to glue on a little bit better, and it's a simple color scheme with the red, white, and blue and a little bit of black accent to it, and I've captured the memories. So I did try to work in these pink paisley designs, but they're a little bit too, I think, maybe vintage for this look, so they're not going to work out here, but I did get to use some of these stars and some stamps out of my things that I wanted to work with this summer. So thank you so much for joining me today. You'll find the sketch over on my blog, and I hope you will click the like button if you like the video, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thanks so much.